Find the idea. KXD6 works only if one defender is overloaded. What would you play? Now rewind. Mikhail Tal has white against Lev Solomonovich-Aronin in USSR-chT. The point is not to memorize moves. In this episode, track the quiet mystery. The natural answer, the piece with too many jobs, and the square that proves the tactic was prepared. If a move does not change one of those things, we move quickly. If it does, we stop and turn it into a question you can use at the board. First quiet clue. This move earns its screen time by changing the open file before the forcing line appears. This is the first real clue. Now 3. Dex 4 is the next pressure test after 2. And C3. Second exchange, not just points. One guard leaves, and the bishop route around move 3 becomes easier to see. The previous checkpoint, 2. NC3, changed the defender map before 3. Dex 4. 3. Dex 4 sets up the next question at 4. Next 4. Pause here. What square became harder to defend after 3? Dex 4? Third trade with a price tag. If the defender recaptures or ignores it, ask where the king can still breathe. The board is already drifting from 4. Next 4 toward 5. NXF6 plus. Fourth king safety audit. If the reply damages the loose defender, the next tactic gets easier. Look back 1 checkpoint. 4. Next 4 made the position fragile enough for 5. NXF6 plus. This is the bridge to 5. GXF6 where the defender has fewer choices. Fifth defender count changes. A safe-looking position turns into a trap when the forced reply has no spare helper. That is Y11. B6 is not just notation. It is a new problem created by 5. GXF6. Sixth greed warning. The capture looks local, but it changes the pawn shield near the king. A quiet detail from 5. GXF6 is still hanging in the air when 11. B6 arrives. Seventh open door. Once that defender disappears, the piece route has fewer obstacles. 11. Fex 6 sets up the next question at 12. Rex 6 plus. Eighth check with a purpose. The king answers first, so the trade choice can decide the next move. After Rex 6 plus, can the king and defender both stay useful? The board is already drifting from 12. Rex 6 plus toward 13. Ing 5 plus. Ninth forcing checkpoint. Counterplay pauses while we inspect the entry point. Which defender cannot cover both threats? The previous checkpoint, 12. Rex 6 plus, changed the defender map before 13. Ing 5 plus. This is the bridge to 13. FXG5 where the defender has fewer choices. 10th exchange, not just points. One guard leaves, and the rank switch around move 13 becomes easier to see. 13. FXG5 does not appear from nowhere. 13. Ing 5 plus already shifted the pressure. That is Y14. QXH5 plus is not just notation. It is a new problem created by 13. FXG5. 11th king safety audit. If the reply damages the minor piece net, the next tactic gets easier. Look back 1 checkpoint. 13. FXG5 made the position fragile enough for 14. QXH5 plus. Now 14. XE6 is the next pressure test after 14. QXH5 plus. Pause here, what line opened because 14. QXH5 plus forced the issue? 12th visible prize, hidden access. After 14. XE6, the final corridor is easier to use. The move before this changed the board's job list, so 14. XE6 has more force than it first appears. 13th collapse warning. The check forces a reply while the open file stays weak. A quiet detail from 14. XE6 is still hanging in the air when 17. QG4 plus arrives. 14th timing question. If the defender spends this move on survival, which diagonal lost protection? This is the bridge to 20. BF4 plus where the defender has fewer choices. 15th check with a purpose. The king answers first, so the back rank room can decide the next move. BF4 plus spends a tempo for the king. Where does counterplay go? That is Y21. BXD6 plus is not just notation. It is a new problem created by 20. BF4 plus. 16th forcing checkpoint. Counterplay pauses while we inspect the overload. Which piece has two jobs? The previous checkpoint, 20. BF4 plus, changed the defender map before 21. BXD6 plus. Now 21. KXD6 is the next pressure test after 21. BXD6 plus. Pause here. Did 21. BXD6 plus change material, tempo, or access first? 17th capture, defender removed. Material matters, but the real point is the tempo race that opens after the capture. 21. KXD6 does not appear from nowhere. 21. BXD6 plus already shifted the pressure. 21. KXD6 sets up the next question at 22. RD1 plus. Pause here. What line opened because 21. KXD6 forced the issue? 18th king safety audit. If the reply damages the pawn shield, the next tactic gets easier. Look back one checkpoint. 21. KXD6 made the position fragile enough for 22. RD1 plus. The board is already drifting from 22. RD1 plus toward 23. QF4 plus. 19th initiative in plain sight. The clue detail matters because the piece route still needs an answer. This is the bridge to 24. RD8 where the defender has fewer choices. A small improvement can be a big warning. If the opponent treats the recapture problem as harmless, the next forcing move lands harder. A quiet detail from 23. QF4 plus is still hanging in the air when 24. RD8 arrives. The lesson from Tal-Aronin's hidden queen trap is concrete. The final tactic works because the earlier moves changed the defender map. In the My Chess Coach lesson, replay the quiet mystery positions, solve the puzzles, and name the clue before the payoff. The candidate move, the overloaded piece, or the square that changed. Then run the same checklist in your own game before you grab material or defend automatically. That turns this finish into a pattern you can recognize in real positions, not just a highlight you admire once.